Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we are coming to you on Top Split TV from the sacred home of Australian motorsport. Mount Panorama up there at Bathurst for season 33, round 7. Oh, come on, back on there. Round 7 of season 33 of Sunday Night Lights, where I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. We're here, mate. We made it. We're at the sacred home here at Mount Panorama and looking forward to a bumper race. 19 cars, 5,700 soft. Mate, the field's packed full of action here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I'm just going through the list right now, and yeah, you needed a 3,700 to squeeze into this field. Everyone that is 15th and above, as far as car rankings goes, is over 5K. Not bad for a little track that started out as a quote-unquote scenic route, so the mayor of Bathurst could turn it into a racetrack.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Magic stuff. Now, I want to turn that thing off if I can figure out how to do it. Well, we'll see how we go. See if I can get the driver thing up anyway. Let's see how we go. Adam Miles is car number 1 here tonight. He's done well, 9,300 I rating. That's what it takes to get your car number 1 here on a Sunday night these days. That's telling you one way of telling you how competitive it is. That's for sure. Car number 2 out there tonight is the Cowboy, Sam Devantier. He's leading the way for the ANZ drivers here tonight. The Flying Dutchman for Team Torpedo, Tim Hendrickson. He's car number 3. Former series champion, of course. Neil Gardner, captain 499. Well, he's captain 7.3k at the moment, and he's car number 4 out on track there tonight. Car number 5, Franco Ruggieri. Rose by any other name. Franco is out there once again. Jeff Randall from UK and I. Always great to see Jeff out there. He's doing a great job. The Gone Skipping Racing, which you would see if I had the things up, but I can't get the right thing up, so I'm not going to. Oh, there it is. There's the qualifying. Let's hide that, and then we'll stick the driver names up because that's the way to go. All right, Jeff Randall, there you go. It's Gone Skipping Racing. Car number 7, Ryan Chenoweth for Goose Juice Racing. The Wildlife Warrior really worked hard on his race. He's got some good pace around here too. 6.2k is no slouch, of course. Dario Frattini for FPM Oval Matine. He's back in the Oval Matine livery here tonight. Is the Italian driver. He came second in the warm-up race, which coincidentally was about 5.7k, but he didn't have this many drivers in it. This field is absolutely stacked with former champions, former race winners. Mate, there's a few, you'd be hard-pressed not to get one of those every car you look at out there. Fraser Smith. Haven't seen Fraser in a long time. He's hunted long and hard, and he's come up with something resembling a brown bomber from the Formula 4 days, but not quite. He's car number 9. And then Vasco Sorofsky, the head clown himself, Team Clowns. He's on his first flying lap, and he's out there as car number 10, Corey.
That's right, and as car number 11, we come in with DJ Dennis Johansson and in the Doco Mobile. Although on my screen it's still blue, so my trading paints is still catching up very slowly. From Iberia, we have Christian Perez as car number 12 and lucky car number 13. From Italy, crowd favourite when he comes in for an interview, Enzo Cantor. We've got Anthony Prime Minister Jones from UK and I as car number 14. Yannick Morale from France as car 15. We've got Akira Nakajima from Japan as car number 16. He's got a lot of pace around here as well. I raced against him quite a ton on Tuesday. We've got Yone Zorek from Central Eastern Europe as car number 17. Chris Wayne from the UK and I as car number 18. And sneaking in car number 19 as a 3.7k, 400 I rating less than Chris Wayne, is Jesus Cabal from Iberia, Alex.
He's done well. He's the only driver under 4k out there tonight. People often say, what does it take to get into a field like this? And I can tell you tonight, the numbers fell Jesus's way. He's got him with 3.7. Before that, you're looking at 4.1 or above, I think. So, yeah, fantastic effort there. Well, good luck to Jesus anyway. He's a good bloke, good driver. We'll see how he goes out there as our drivers start coming around for the end of their first flying lap. You got to get out of the pits. You got to get out there, otherwise you're not going to get two in. And so the times will come thick and fast. I think Jeff Randall or Dario Frattini, they're all coming so quick. Wayne, they're all going to go over. Jeff Randall might be the first. No, it's Hendrickson. Surprise, surprise. 31.5. That's a top first lap. Oh, Devantia. He's put his qualifying woes behind him, although he's about 3.5 tenths off. Ruggieri. He's chucked it on provisional pole after one lap with a 31.4, if you don't mind. Adam Miles, Sorosky, who's been on fire here in quali. In fact, his quali throughout the season has been outstanding. And he's made a good fist of it here. His paint's not coming through correctly. Trust me, that's the head clown. Perez, the returning champion, one of about 3 or 4 in the race in the Team Astro livery. He may not get 2 laps in though, but his first one's a bottler with a 31.3 there, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. A 31.3 on the first lap. That's incredible. I didn't see very many 31.3s on Tuesday when I was doing quite a bit of racing. So these guys are absolutely laying it all down there. And we've got 7 cars in the 31s on the first lap. Absolutely incredible. Currently watching Vasco as he's making his way up the mountain now. As he goes past the tree and into what we like to call the grate. As you got to turn out that grate there that's over on the right. Vasco not quite using all the track there as he comes across heading towards Skyline. And it's just such a beautiful track, Alex. So scenic and such a big challenge all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm just going to grab a look at Ant Jones as he's coming around for the end of his first lap. He must have had an excursion on one of his laps. He's crossed the line. As he put up a time, he has good enough for 6th, and he's bailed on the rest of it because he knows he's not going to get another one in, Corey. But that is good effort for one lap round in this kind of field. There's a few of them giving up after their first lap. Frattini's gone in the pits. Johansson. Hendrickson's probably the next one of the top runners to get across the line. He's coming down Conrad into the chase now. And let's see what the Flying Dutchman can do, Corey. He's fairly handy around here. Won the warm-up race, of course. And, you know, can steer these things, as we know. Former series champion, if I'm not mistaken. That's number 2 for tonight. What's he done? Has he beaten the first lap? He has by 2 tenths, if you don't mind. Oh, that's a decent time with a 31. Devantia's improved. What's Perez got? Is he going to get there? He's got 8 seconds. 7, 6. It's going to be close. What's he got? Miles is on a flyer. He puts it on pole with a 31 dead. What's Perez got for us? 30.9, if you don't mind. Get that in the fantastic effort by Perez. Let's run through this grid before they get underway. Christian Perez dobbed it on pole with a 30.9. Great effort. Adam Miles from UK&I there. He's just 5/100ths behind it, starting from P2. Tim Hendrickson for T-Torpedo. 2 tenths off pole, starting out of 3rd. The Cowboy for Cowboy Racing, Sam Devantia, joins him on the 2nd row, starting from 4th. 5th tonight will be Franco Ruggieri for 4-Gear TV Racing Team. Alongside him will be Jeff Randall for Gone Skip and Race. And Vasco Sorosky, the head clown, starts out of 7th tonight. There you go. Generally stupid and slow. Captain 499. It says it on the screen. It's not just me calling him that, folks. Neil Gardner, he starts out of 8th tonight. Ant Jones, the other torpedo on the field, starting out 9th with just the single lap. Enzo Cantor for Mivano Sim Racing out of 10th. Starting from 11th, Akira Nakajima, the lone Japanese driver. He's been putting in the yards this season, showing well as he's just starting out 11th, just outside the top 10 off the grid. Yone Zorek, again, he's put 1,000 laps in here this week. He's started out of 12th. 13th tonight off the grid will be Dario Frattini for FPM Mobile Team. Look for him to move forward. He's great coming through the field. Dennis Johansson similarly. There's a pair to watch. Starting out of 14th, the Great Dane in the Doggo Mobile. 15th off the grid tonight will be the Wildlife Warrior for Goose Juice Racing, Ryan Chenoweth. Fraser Smith returns to us after a long hiatus from UK&I. Starts out of 16th. The other gone skipping race and driver in the field, Chris Wayne, starts out of 17th. Jesus Cabal snuck in as car 19. He starts from 18th tonight. And last off the grid tonight will be Yannick Morel from France. Good luck to all our races here tonight, mate. I'm looking forward to a big one.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. It's shaping up to be quite the excellent race around here at Bathurst. 23 corners, and we all start this race with the one that we'd like to call Hell Corner, because it's hell all afterwards as everyone is on the grid. The red lights mean rev and the green lights mean go. We're underway, and I swear I saw someone in the background starting to creep already, and it looks like we've already got one in the pits. It's Anthony Jones, Alex. The second week in a row, he's bottled the start.
Oh, such a tragedy, Ant Jones. He's hit the eject, pulled over to the left, hit the eject button. The nerves have got to him potentially as a stream of Skippy racers floods up Mountain Straight for the first time, crests the hill. These beautiful cameras once again brought to you by Cavaquet Racing's PIM. Outstanding work this week as the drivers go through Griffins for the first time. Miles leading the way. Perez has dropped a couple, though he's contesting now with Hendrickson for the second spot. Look at them all streaming up the hill. No harm, no foul at this stage. These guys now go through the cutting for the first time. A long line of skippies. They've got to go single file. The bravest will attempt things over the mountain, perhaps in the later stages, but early on, Corey, straight up they go, one by one.
That's right, Alex. It's very difficult to get across the top of the mountain side by side. Although with the skippies, these things are probably skinny enough where you could get away with it as we come across the top, as these guys just dancing their way through the top of the mountain. But now they got to start dancing as they come down into Skyline through the S's towards the Dipper. This is one of the more difficult spots on this track, as you got to make sure you don't hit that Dipper wrong, or else you will either get sideways or get spat out towards one of the fences as they come into the final set of S's as they head towards Forest Elbow, the most important corner on the track, Alex. If you have a bad run through the elbow, you're going to be absolutely stuffed when it comes to Conrod Straight.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's where the race will be run and won ultimately, as we've got, what's that? We've got about the top 9 in this front pack ready to move and shake, and the secondary pack's now about 2 seconds behind, but it is a bridgeable gap if they work smartly together, or 3 wide in the background suggests at least going to give it a crack. As Perez, he was on pole, he's leading him through the chase on the first time round. Adam Miles, and they're pretty much in running order, that top 8. Enzo Cantor, the only one that has moved forward other than behind him. Remember I said Johansson and Frattini were 2 to watch? Well, they're up a couple. Johansson's up 4 positions already, and that's where the gap is, though. They've got to bridge that 2-second gap. Those 2 together are possibly the only one. Well, I've got to tell you, there's a few in the field that could potentially do it, to be fair, but they are going to give it a red hot go, I know, as for the second time now our drivers start heading up Mountain Straight. Beautiful pictures once again as they crest the hill under the Pettis sign, as we see the top 8 now, top 9 I should say, starting to think about their strategy about how to position themselves. 3 wide they go into Griffins for the second time. They've kind of got it sort of. Perez is going to hold the inside though. He's going to force them to go wide. Miles will be hung out to dry. He's potentially in trouble. There'll be a couple behind. Look at them already racing, mate. Up into the cutting. These guys are going to go 2 wide into the cutting on the second lap. Miles is going to defend from the outside of Griffins to the inside of the cutting and end up alongside the leader. Fantastic stuff in the early stages of this one. Corey still side by side. Hendrickson's going to have another go. He's going to come up this side. No, they've got it sorted. Wow, exciting stuff at this early stage, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And I was just looking through the field, and the first lap was not without incident. Yone had an issue as we're coming up to this section right here on the first lap. So unfortunately, it looks like he is in the pits. He's just come out of the pits now, and there was a lot of damage to his Skippy. And it was a couple other cars involved. I think Fraser Smith was one of them as well. And Fraser Smith well off the back of the pack at the moment.
Yeah, he's a bit short of running the skips. And it's showing a little bit here tonight. And, you know, I remember he used to rock up with little to no practice in the Fords and be able to handle himself all right. Not to say he can't handle himself, but the pace is really on this season. With our return to Sunday night broadcasting, the skips, the community's rallied around the series in general, and the softs have been up during the week. The racing has just been so intense as everyone's come back to that familiar home of the skippies, and the level has lifted, and the guys have raised the intensity, and you've just got to prepare. You've got to put in the yards for these things to be competitive. Side by side, Perez and Hendrickson renew that rivalry. They've exited out of the chase. They've managed to get it done side by side. They're going to come into the final corner. Hendrickson will have the inside run. Perez not quite backing out. And these guys, yeah, they've got it sorted, and they are now line astern for one of the few times so far this race. I don't know. They've gone side by side a lot more than I thought they would. And it is, to some extent, keeping Frattini and Johansson, who are the chasing pack. They're now under 2 seconds. In fact, they are 1.6 seconds behind Gardner and Cantor, who are going to fight their way up Mountain Straight, potentially further bringing the chasing pair into the mix, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And while that's happening, the top three almost three wide once more, coming up to Griffins. You see Adam Miles this time on the inside, trying to maintain his first position as they're going to go three wide towards the cutting. This is not going to end well if they stay three wide. Someone has to back out. It's going to be Adam Miles in this juncture as Christian Perez now takes the lead, and Adam Miles sneaks up back on the inside of Tim Hendrickson, but they're going to stay side by side here as they start making their way up the mountain. And the tyres will be all nice and warm and soft right now, so this would be the perfect time for them to go side by side across the entire top of the mountain, which is possible with highly skilled drivers, which is what these guys are. But one small mistake from either of them, and it could end in disaster, like I saw on the first lap with Yerne and Fraser Smith. And it looks like Hendrickson taking the advantage as they go down into Skyline. And once again, Miles is put side by side with Franco this time, as they're going to make their way down through the S's. Now, this is real dangerous for them as Franco backs out, gives Miles a spot, and that opens up a little bit of a gap here between Hendrickson and Miles now, Alex.
Wow, madness followed by further madness. Ruggieri thought he might just poke the nose there as they crested Skyline. 1 on 2x2 replaced by another, and you're right, the gap is now nearly a second. And that will be very difficult to recover if Perez and Hendrickson can work together. Now, that's a big statement. Those two have got a rivalry that goes a long way back as Ruggieri then goes past Miles. There'll be some steam between the ears of that pair, I can imagine. Miles not wanting to throw the race away so early. And they have caught nearly, they caught 2/10 up down Conrod. 2.5 as Miles exits the chase. They still got a chance. It's back up to 8/10 now. Oh, it's going to be interesting. Meanwhile, let's touch base with the chasing pair of Frattini and Johansson. They are now, they're right on the back of Cantor. Frattini on the back of Cantor. Swarovski's off the. We lost. Did we lose?
Lost Gardner. He had an issue coming out of the elbow.
Let's go check out what happened to Neil Gardner, Captain 499, if my telemetry will work. There it is. Oh, and he's already damaged. Yeah, he's got big suspension damage. Oh, he must have picked that up across the top somewhere. And he's limping his way back to the pits at that point. Meanwhile, Swarovski now on the tail end of this front pack is in P7 with Frattini just 1.4 seconds behind. So they've caught up about half a second. Meanwhile, they're line astern in front. Now, that might signal a key change in this race. They might just settle down. They would have got to scare Ruggieri and Miles that last lap that Perez and Hendrickson might get away, right? So I think maybe the 2x2 across the mountain might be saved for a couple of laps, because if they focus on just running the laps and running them fast, they may keep the likes of Frattini and Cantor, the two Italians, who have now gapped the Great Dane behind in Dennis Johansson. They might keep those guys at bay and restrict this to a battle of 7 up. Restrict it, I say, to a battle of 7 up front. That's still a pretty big pack to be racing around here, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex, but it might not come out to be like that. So I noticed going across the top as they're still making their way up the mountain, Tim Hendrickson very aggressively looking around at the gearbox of Perez, just trying to look for any kind of a move. But now we'll see how the roulette's going to happen here on Conrod Straight, as this is the most draft-prone area on the track. This is where we're going to see the most amount of overtakes, and it looks like Rigeri is actually starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Adam Miles here. The gap is only about half a second, but it's just enough with Rigeri still being in draft that it's going to be hard for Miles to try and close that gap, as we have a three-way fight for the lead going down into the chase. Oh, there's contact. Perez is around.
He's caught it. He's caught it,
come out of it.
He's got to manage to slow down.
Save.
Surely. What a catch was that? He's got to manage to slow down. He's going to do it on the inside. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to let him go, manage to slow down, and then slot back in. Oh, he's just binned Enzo. Oh. And Perez has just walked away. He said, nah. That's conscience for you, biting very hard. He walked straight out in front of Enzo and then took his medicine and said, that'll do me. No doubt kicking himself for having made that kind of rookie mistake. He'd managed to slow down. He caught it magnificently, managed to slow down and then pull back on the racing line just in time to collect Enzo. Yeah, not one of the finer moments, but he knows. That's why he binned it straight away.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And the voice chat for this race is going absolutely crazy right now, as Dario just putting the question to Perez there, just wondering what happened, as the battle at the front is still continuing on. Hendrickson and Rigeri at the front, side by side, going through the cutting once more. Adam Miles now up into third, and behind him, side by side, Jeff Randall, Vasco Sorosky, currently our leading Aussie drivers. In fourth and fifth there, Sam Devantia just dropping down to sixth behind Frattini, as he's playing that patient game once more. He's expecting some more carnage ahead of him right now, Alex.
Yeah, potentially. We're on lap 5 of 10 here, folks, so plenty of running still to go. Side by side, Frattini says Sorosky, I'll have that, pushes Sorosky wider still, and they've managed to get it done, and Sri sort of tell you what, Sorosky won't have enjoyed that. Anything you want to do on this track, it is not clip the curb on the outside of the run into Skyline. You have to really have soft hands, keep the wheel straight, because otherwise it actually bends you into the wall on the inside or the outside of the approach to the corner, depending on your perspective. Sorosky doing an amazing job to hang on to that one, Corey, under very trying circumstances. But I tell you, the elbows are out from some of the drivers out there. That doesn't get the blood pumping, nothing will.
Oh, that's exactly right, Alex. And if this first half of the race is anything to go by, as Franco now going for the move on Tim going into the chase, Tim slamming the door closed on Adam Miles there. But if the first half of the race is anything to go by, the second half of this race is going to be absolutely spectacular, especially with the dying laps coming down to the checkered flag, as Franco now going to lead the way through the final corner at Murray's. And he's going to start the second half of the race from the front. And it might not be the best of spots to be in, but we'll have to wait and see how the dice is going to be rolled, Alex.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And we're back to a pack of, what are we at? Dennis Johansson in the Dogomobile, the Great Dane, just tucked in behind Devantia on the back of that pack. So Frattini and Johansson did the yards. Frattini's up 8, Johansson's up 6. I said at the start they were guys that could move forward in this field. Mind you, there's a handful of them in here who could, but they've done it. They've done the yards side by side now. We see Miles and Rigeri up Mountain Straight. Coming into Griffin's, Miles will be on the outside. He'll be very wary. You get hung out to dry there, because it's the slow line through there, particularly on exit, you do come under threat from the guys behind you. But similarly, Rigeri would have been compromised because he couldn't take the racing line on entry, couldn't open up the corner, and cost him a bit of speed. But not so much, because once they exit the cutting, they're around the right-hander just after. Here is essentially a straight. It's a curvy straight, albeit, but it's flat out section, and all you're trying to do is minimise, if not remove, any scrub on the tyres. As they come up the hill. The power of these machines is not fantastic, so you might just grab 5th gear through here, depending on your preference. But that's about it. Drop down into 4th as you come down through the S's, down to 3rd, down to 2nd, to take the dipper, again, depending on your style and preference. Then on the run down to Forest Elbow, as Corey said before, the most important corner on the racetrack. Down into second, if you like, that way. Some will grab first to grab the rotation, then quickly back up to second as they run down the hill through down Conrod, I should say. And this is where all the strategic games start happening. Where will I pass? Will I time my run? Am I just hanging on as we see Ruggieri pull out from behind Hendrickson and run side by side and indeed pass him as Miles looks to do similarly. Oh, Hendrickson's a bit loose. He's caught at the rear of the casting. Oh, Miles has nearly poked Ruggieri in the rear, but they've managed to get it sorted. Meanwhile, in the background, Swarovski coming back with Randall and Frattini. They've got their own battle going. The risk that they run as they go side by side, it's Swarovski and Randall through the final quarter, is that they will lose this front pack. Frattini, I've never seen anyone better at moving through a field. He's up 9 positions, started 13th. There was a gap to bridge. He's moved through the field with a racecraft of a minor genius there to move now into 4th position. He's got a little gap to bridge, about 7.5 tenths. Oh, it might be a bit of a risk, but he should get it, depending on what the front 3 want to do. And, yeah, again, playing his cards to perfection so far, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. But there wasn't, without drama, him getting around Randall and Swarovski. There was a little bit of contact going through the chase between Frattini and Randall. And now DJ is making his way up, getting around Randall, moving up one more. And this has been a race of a lot of people gaining a lot of positions, Alex. I'm just having a quick look. Chenoweth is up 6. Chris Wayne up 7. Jesus up 7 as well in 11th. So there's a lot of guys making a lot of moves in this race. Some of them are freebies, but a lot of them are just out and out drafting pace and getting their way through the field, which is awesome to see. We always knew the Bathurst is a track where you can make a lot of passes, and this entire field is showing that at the moment, as Ruggieri now going to lead the way from Miles, going through to the S's as they come down, making their way towards the dipper. And this is the most technical part of this track, and it's so hard to get it right, but once you do, it's an absolute glorious feeling. In real life, it feels so much steeper than it looks here on iRacing, Alex. And we seem to have lost Alex as they're making their way down Conrod Straight now. And it's still single file. It doesn't look like Miles is going to be close enough to try and make the move on Ruggieri, but he's used the draft perfectly as they're coming down into the chase now. Side by side they go. There's side by side in the background as well. Ruggieri covers from Hendrickson quite aggressively. Frattini trying to make the move on Hendrickson, couldn't quite stick his nose up in there, and now he is going to just settle back there in 4th as Miles now makes the move, gets to 1st, and he's going to lead lap number 7.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Sounds like you're back now, Alex.
Yeah, mate, that's me hitting the mute for the cough and they're not coming back. Sorry about that. I was just going to say, how good is this? This is what Skippy Racing's all about. A Swarovski tried around the outside. It's going to cost him not only the position he was going for, but he's been shuffled back there. And the 2 ANZ drivers in this front pack are now 7th and 8th. With 3 laps to go around the early stages of lap 8. The front 3 now, Miles and Ruggieri side by side. Hendrickson, will he make it 3 wide? I think I will, thank you, he says. 3 wide it is. Often through the middle is the way to get a move done up Mountain Straight. Oh, Miles is coming back at Ruggieri. They're going to go, and he's left him on the outside. He says, have some of that. Ruggieri getting some amazing drive around the outside there. Fantastic work. Got some amazing pace around here, but what it has done is it's brought the rest back in. A 2x2 behind as well. Frattini now looking to put all sorts of pressure. He and Johansson up 9 positions each, and now they're going to go to battle side by side. I said they'd leave it for a couple of laps, and they did, but these two have worked so hard to get back in and potentially throwing it all away as they continue to go side by side across the top, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. It's quite intense racing right now as they're still side by side. So they're making their way towards Skyline, but now Frattini has taken the advantage. He maintains the 4th position, and everyone goes single file out. We won't see them go double file through the S's into the dipper too often. It does happen, but it usually ends in a lot of tears, as now Hendrickson going to lead the way through the Forest Elbow as we hit the lottery machine once more. And let's see how they're going to come out of it, as Regeri right on the gearbox of Hendrickson this time. When will he pull out to make the move? He's waiting a long time there. He's going for it now, just about skimming the right rear tyre of Hendrickson as they come to the Fuso Bridge, and the move is already made for Regeri. Hendrickson grabs that little bit of draft to try and fight back going into the chase. He's just about side by side. We've got 2x2 side by side, 3 wide just about, with Adam Miles up on the inside, and there's a little bit of contact and around. He's gone, Alex.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's got to end in tears. How they got that? And it's Johansson that's come through from nowhere. Hendrickson's going to hold it up the inside, or try to. Johansson's got the stronger line on the outside in terms of being able to get on the gas area earlier, I should say. Tragedy there for Frattini. It worked so hard, but 3 up front and 3, but like the guys weren't ready. The guys behind weren't ready to go 3 wide, and it just shuffled back as Miles fell off the 3 wide in front on the inside line, and it's just caused Frattini to go around. We're going to stay with the live action as now Miles and Hendrickson have been relegated to side by side for P3 now, as the Doggo-mobile sticks to the draft side by side. Yeah, Hendrickson goes up the inside and Miles gives it to him. They're on lap 9, 1 3/4 laps to go. They really need to be thinking about their positioning. The question is, have they got enough capacity with throwing the thing around the mountain, all the things they've got to think about in terms of lines, angles, technique? Sorowski on the back of this one, Devantier coming back into it. Have they got enough capacity to think about strategy as well, Corey? Where do they position, and can they get the position that they want coming into the last lap? Because I can tell you, anything behind 3rd is not going to win it, at least unless there's incident, notwithstanding. So the fight will be on from 4th behind, trying to get into that front 3, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, as DJ going for the move in the S's, if you don't mind. He took it at the skyline, sneaks his way into the first just before the dipper. You don't see that move happen every day. DJ up 13 positions into P1 now as we go through the elbow for the penultimate time. We're coming up to the last lap. This is where you got to get yourself into position for the last lap. DJ said, I want to lead the last lap. And he wants to do it all from the front, as Regeri gets a little bit defensive on Hendrickson that time, and DJ trying to block both of them a little bit, but Regeri now with the draft, and they're both going to, looks like they're both going to go for the move on DJ, regulating back to 3rd. We'll see how that's going to work, as side by side they go into the chase. Will we get 3 wide? Not quite. And DJ manages to hold on to it and comes out of the chase with the lead. Regeri, though, still looking very racy. He might go for a move into the final corner. He's shaping his way up towards it as Hendrickson moves to the outside of Regeri, as we get the white flag. Last lap, last chance to win it or wear it, and it's still absolutely anyone's race at this point, as we've got to make the run-up mountain straight, which is also another draft to pass opportunity, Alex.
Yeah, Miles boxing Hendrickson on the outside of turn 1, fighting for P3. They really want to be in that top 3. Look at him rubbing shoulders, wheel to wheel up mountain straight. Miles will be on the outside, and he will be relegated to 4th, I would think. The Doggo-mobile, oh, looks to cover. No, he doesn't want to be left on the outside. Will they get to be 3 wide? No, they won't. Oh, he covers Hendrickson. This is full-on last lap stuff. Miles, as I said, left to hang out to dry. Will the Cowboy? No, he won't attack him there. He won't. Not at all. As Regeri leaves it, Johansson in the box seat. Hendrickson fighting him for it. Regeri looking to potentially run away with it. Oh, the looseness. Oh, he's gone in the middle of the pile-up. They've gone. They've all gone. Sorowski gets through. The Cowboy gets through. Oh, Johansson. Hendrickson's gone. He's dead. He's got no drive. Regeri's gone. He's won it. Sorowski and Devantier have come through. They are potential podium sitters. What sort of damage has Johansson got? He's falling like a stone. He's gone. So Devantier looks like he might have some damage as well. The wildlife warrior, Brian Chenoweth, coming through. He might grab a podium here, an unlikely podium. Unbelievable. Like I said, Ruggieri's gone. We will go back and have a look at that one, folks. Just got to watch the end of the race. Devante is hanging on with a wounded car. Wayne has come through. He's up 12 positions, as is Chenoweth. Cabal is up 11 in P7. Ruggieri's gone, as we said. Swarovski played the patient game. He's got a little bit of front wing damage. He clipped a bit on the way through. Chenoweth, he's dragging along his compatriot in Devante, but Wayne goes by the stricken cowboy. Potentially grabbing fourth. Chenoweth, the most unlikely of podiums potentially. Car number 18 looking to grab a podium at his home track. How do you hang on to it? He's got pace here, don't get me wrong, but there's a Lux of Fortune, that's for sure. Let's see here, Ruggieri now coming through the final corner to take out the win here tonight. Swarovski comes through for a famous P2. And Chenoweth grabs the final spot on the podium. Corey, fantastic. We didn't get first, but we got second, third, and fifth. 3 ANZ drivers in the top 5. What a finish to that one, Corey.
Oh, that was absolutely incredible, Alex. I was expecting them to come to blows at some point, but I was not expecting on the way out of the cutting. Oh, that was just incredible to watch. It all started with a little bit of a tap on Hendrickson, on Johansson, coming out of the cutting. All hell broke loose, and I think Vasco is the only one besides Ruggieri who escaped without any damage. So absolutely crazy scenes there out of that top 6, where only 2 remained without damage, and only 3 of them have finished in the top 5.
Yeah, mate. I'm just looking through my telemetry. There's about 1,000 notifications for different stuff going on. I'm just trying to find the one that says start here. And look at what happened in that one, because that was just nuts. Let alone trying to find a camera angle. Pim provides me, side by side for P12, if you don't mind. Morale and Gardner crossing the line like they're going for the victory. Well played, gents. That was great. Let me go and see if I can find something here that says... so that's Ruggieri going past Johansson. Yeah, here we go. This is probably it. I'm going to find the slow down button at some point. Excuse me. All right, so it's all going to break loose on the exit of the cutting. And on the run in, I think Hendrickson's going to give a look. Yeah, he just sort of shows the nose there. I'm going to see if I can find Dennis here and a close-up camera angle. What's this one going to do for me? All right, so Johansson's pretty tight on a less than optimal line there. You can see the line that Ruggieri took gives all the speed. What happens here? Does he get any help? That's the question. Or does he... Oh, I don't know if he's got a bit of netcode help. And you can see there that from there, where's a good angle? They're all from behind. There you go. And then as the rears got gripped up, and then, yeah, look at that. And then it's all over. And it's pile up central. Someone just disappeared in the middle. I'm thinking, oh, surely not disqualified. And then Swarovski's got through with minimal damage. The Cowboy picked up a bit, but Hendrickson's got no drive. And Johansson, I think, eventually had to go to the pits as well. But, yeah, look, hard to say. I think on entry there might have been a bit of net code there, and that sort of got Dennis used. They were certainly tight enough for it to occur. It might have even been a touch. And then as he's collected up the rear and it's gripped up, it's put him back across the track in front of Hendrickson. And under those sort of circumstances, that sort of pressure, last lap, all tied up. Yeah, it was just, as I like to say, a bit like the trolleys in the Woolies shopping car park on a Saturday morning. Let's go check out, not the race, let's go check out the race results. Franco Ruggieri for Forgia TV Racing Team has won by 4.5 seconds in the end. That's a margin perhaps not reflective of the race. Vasco Swarovski for Team Clowns. He's dobbed it in there for a fantastic P2, one of patience and speed and skill that required to be in the front pack and then take advantage of the opportunity in amongst the chaos. Ryan Chenoweth, speaking of opportunities amongst chaos, the Goose Juice Races Wildlife Warrior has dobbed it for a podium at the Great Mount Panorama. Congratulations to him. I want to say that's his best result, and in a 5.7k soft, picking up, what did he pick up, 72 I rating? He'll be happy with that. Congratulations to him. Chris Wayne for Gone Skipping Racing, often the second driver behind his teammate Jeff Randall, but tonight he's the lead driver for the Gone Skipping Racing team, and he himself picked up 72 high rating for P4. Devantia, I beg your pardon, he picked up 104 high rating for P4. Congratulations to Devantia, the 4-old bloke. The Cowboy there's lost one for P5, but he'd probably take that because he finished the race in amongst all that melee of the final lap. Dario Frattini started way back, got up to the front, got turned, and then got back to fifth. His up and down roller coaster of a race culminated with a P6. I'm sure he'd be happy given all things that went on for him. Jesus Cabal snuck in his car number 9. He's finished as car number 7. Patience and speed again. Congratulations to him. Gentleman on track and a great result. Akira Nakajima for Nagai Racing School, the lone Japanese driver who I said this season's been putting in the yards. He's committed to here on a Sunday night, and tonight he's got a top 8 finish in the big one. Congratulations to him. Jeff Randall, the other Gone Skipping Racing drivers in P9. Fraser Smith, who was somewhat unprepared for the race, 48 seconds off the lead, but he's finished in the top 10 after all that final lap shenanigans. Enzo Cantor, unfortunate night for the Movano Sim Racing team driver. Caught up in that moment, that brain explosion from Christian Perez as he was coming back on track. No doubt there were words said and there may be some continuing, I don't know. Adam Miles, unfortunately, right in it up until the end. He's finished the last point scoring position for Sunday Night Lights points in P12. Neil Gardner, Captain 499, finished in 13th, just outside of the top just outside of the points, as it turns out. Yannick Morale, who's finished in 14th tonight with that beautiful battle over the line with Neil at the end. The Doggomobile, the Great Dane, drives it, and he's finished in 15th after that massive accident at the end. Alongside him in the finishing standings will be Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo. The two of them coming together in spectacular fashion there in the battle for the win at the end. Christian Perez, the peaky drivers, even though he's running the Team Astro livery, he parked it after that big incident, and he's better than that, and he knows it. I know he'll be no doubt apologetic. He won't have been happy for how he got there, but yeah, that's not his go. We know that. Not 18th in the finishing order was Yune Zurek, who's put in 1,000 laps here. I'm sure he was hoping for better, and he had the pace for it. And Ant Jones, as we saw, he didn't get going here tonight, unfortunately, for the second week in a row. Real sad for a really nice guy, the other team Torpedo member, who I have to say has outstanding pace and is great to race with. Just real tragedy that he wasn't able to get it done there tonight, Corey. In what was, I got to tell you, we come to this place expecting big things, and it surely delivered tonight.
As they usually say in the V8 Supercars broadcast, Alex, anything can happen at Bathurst, and it generally does. And what we saw tonight was definitely a mix of anything and everything happening. Super fast qualifying times, super intense racing, big crashes. This is what Bathurst is known for, and I'm all for it. But poor Ant Jones, for the second week in a row, unable to get it off the line properly, getting the jump start once more. And Yone, I absolutely feel for him. On Tuesday, when I did quite a bit of racing, he donated quite a bit of his I rating to me. And another unfortunate finishing position for him here tonight as well. So all in all, though, excellent race. Congratulations, Chenoweth, on what I believe to be his first podium with us in SNL, which is incredible and absolutely well deserved. Even if it was through a last lap incident, allowing him to slip up there and grab the podium, but still. And the kind of field that this was, nothing to sneeze at whatsoever.
Nah, that's right, mate. Absolutely. Now, we've got a few folks in the green room. Let's bring them up. We'll, hang on if I can get the buttons right. There we go. We'll bring up Mr. Sorosky, who finished in second tonight. Mate, what were you thinking after all that went on? You were up and down in that front pack. The pace was on, and then it all happened in front of you. What was going through the head at that point?
Evening, guys. I'm not supposed to be the first one in here. That I could say. Yeah, we had your wings broken, your ears broken, your wheels are broken, and that wasn't a bit. That wasn't even on the last lap. That was before. So, yeah, that was a very different race. It was full on. It was a very different race. I don't know. I still don't have words for it. I missed quali a second lap. Totally missed it at the chicane. Brain fade as usual, and then sat there. But you know that the caliber of these guys, and you don't want to be sitting back there. And mate, in P6-7, whatever it was, the draft is non-existent. It's pretty much whatever the gap of the guy in front of you is, and that's what it stays. So we try to make some moves. I could see Dario and everyone coming through, especially when the guys were battling up the front. And that was, to me, was a worry because I was sitting at the back of that pack for most of it. And so we try to put a few moves on here and there and thought we did okay. And then we got swallowed up by one that I thought would, coming into the last corner on the outside of Dario, I thought would be fine, but I don't know, different lines or whatever. And then Jeff swallowed me up and Dennis swallowed me up. And I thought it was nearly all done. And then there was chaos everywhere. I haven't got words. And like I said, we drove through the first one in the chicane. And we ended up with wheel damage out of that, with the front wing that was already bent. I couldn't even catch Sam in a straight line. So I was happy to pretty much sit there and see what unfolds, but I didn't expect it to unfold it like that. Definitely.
Yeah, mate, it was crazy. I'm not sure. We tried to do it justice after the race, but yeah, I'm sure there's folks with their opinions on that and other incidents in the race. But I think you're right. It really was, and both you and I have done a few this week, it really was a different kind of race. Too wide over the mountain, multiple occasions in the early stages, then again in the latter stages. The move by Johansson to take the lead or the overtake in the downhill section. People were playing for keeps out there, mate.
Oh, definitely. It was different racing. It was quite fun racing. It wasn't the fastest racing in the world, I'd say, but it was definitely 110% wherever you went. You couldn't, all you were thinking, if you left half a gap, even though the bloke, you weren't running your normal lines or times or even gears, the bloke behind you was going to be up swallowing. And that happened. I thought I'd have Jeff going up the hill when we went side by side, and I lifted a little bit. Next thing you know, Dario was through as well. So, the smallest things make the biggest changes. So, yeah, different, and just sorry for everyone that ended up not finishing. Like I don't want second this way, but I'll take it. The car, the boys in the pits have got some damage to repair. I can promise you that. And all I was praying for at the end, I looked back and I'm like, this thing is slow, steering's bent. I don't know if I'm going to make it down the dipper. So very cautiously, and I could just see Ryan coming, and there was enough gap there. So lucky.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Well, congratulations. I could hear the enjoyment, both of the racing, but of course the result. I bet you weren't smiling at the start of the last lap, but I can imagine the grin at the end of it. So congratulations, mate. Well done. The perseverance and the pace to be in that front pack and then take advantage at the end is a great reflection on you and how you race. So congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
Oh, you guys always, you and Corey doing the broadcast, mate. Absolutely. Thank you for making these guys come out and doing the show that they put on, because there would have been a hell of a show, definitely. There was a bloke, forget his name, it might have rhymed with Alex or something like that. It said you can't explain the emotion in the cars, and it'll be nice to capture some of that, but mate, there was a lot of emotion in that. And I'm sure there's a lot of emotions at the moment, definitely.
Yeah, mate, I can imagine. Well, congratulations.
And obviously the clowns. Sorry, I missed that. All the clowns. I've got to thank them all, and especially Mark running around over there in Vietnam. Hopefully, give him some joy and fun while he was listening in on that. Enough of my swearing, anyway.
That's it, mate. All right, well done. Congratulations. And nice to see a good result go your way, and look forward to seeing you again next week, mate.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Corey, that was the head clown himself after, look, you can't just say it was luck, because he was in the front pack. He was in the middle of the tail end of it at different points, trying to move forward, and you got to be there to take advantage of it. So a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill. Sometimes that's what it takes to win, to get up there in one of these.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Once he had that initial damage and just stayed at the back of the pack, biding his time, he put himself in the perfect position for if the proverbial hit the fan, and that's exactly what happened. And he was in the perfect spot to take advantage of absolutely all of it, which is incredible. Great finish for Vasco, and he proved tonight that this is the reason why he is the head clown, and no other clown can compare at the moment. But I also want to just put a quick spotlight on Dennis Johansson. He almost broke into the mythical 229, Alex. He put in a 230 point, I think that's a 506 as his fast lap in the race. And I'm pretty sure that one was undrafted, which is incredible for mid-race pace on lap 7.
Yeah, that's it, mate. He was moving, that's for sure. Like I said, he and Dario were two to watch coming through the field, and that they did. But just before we move on to the next one, folks, trying something different this week. We're recording, or we're actually streaming in the background to YouTube in 2K to try and improve the visual quality of the race replay. So if you could go check it out, it'll be up shortly after the broadcast. Go give us a like, a thumbs, and a subscribe over on YouTube. It really does help, and hopefully we'll continue to improve the stream depending on how it goes. But for now, folks, prepare yourselves. The great interview, the man will have some words, I've got no doubt, but let's wait to hear from him. The great Enzo Cantor. Enzo, welcome. Oh, hang on, I've got to find the right button. Welcome. Now, I can imagine there's some stuff coming out of that one for you. Good evening and welcome. Let's hear how you went out there tonight.
Hi guys. Well, I was racing from the central court of Melbourne because I was watching the final match between Sinner and Medvedev. So it's not easy to race in the middle of the crowd. So I was a little bit confused. Well, obviously I'm joking, but the problem is that I'm a victim of myself because I completely missed the qualifying. And when you are so back in the field in this kind of races and in this track, everything can happen. You can die in many ways. I died alone in the warm-up race. And this time I was finally finding the pace. I was in the train, I was sure after the slowdown, Christian saw me and Dario arriving fast. I was sure he was leaving space on the outside to us, but I was completely wrong, and he said sorry to me. So it was a mistake. Shit happens, but again, I'm victim of myself because you have to start in the front here, and you cannot risk too much if you want to win this kind of a race and races and this kind of ice off. So my bad.
Yeah, look, that's a very mature attitude to take around it, Enzo. You're right. You're putting yourself up the front often keeps you out of trouble in these kind of races, and the margins are so tight and the speed is so good. It makes it difficult, irrespective of mistakes. So yeah, look, I know you and I know Christian doesn't make many mistakes like that. He was put in a difficult position, made a mistake. Great to hear that he apologised about it, and I'm sure he wouldn't do it again in 100 races or 1,000 races. So, but great attitude, Enzo. Glad to hear that you can walk away, knowing that there's still things to be done. There's always improvement for us to make, even with folks like yourself with such experience and getting the quali done right each and every time. Such a challenge here, but and everywhere indeed in these kind of fields. So well done, mate. Great to see you back out there. You had some good races here this week, I think, as well. So hopefully that'll encourage you to come back again for some more. But thanks again for joining us, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
Oh yes, surely. Well, as you said, you have every time to learn something after every race, even if I'm racing here now from 11 years, but every time you learn something. This lesson, was well known from me, but um, every time it happens again, it reminds you that you have to be very focused, and the races start in the qualifying. So you have, I think, 80% of your race is in the qualifying. So that's the problem. I have to fix it. Sometimes I'm not so, and I'm not focused enough. Finally, yes, as always, I have to say thanks to my friend Franco, all my teammates, my team, and to you, obviously, for your awesome work. And I wish you will continue for many seasons forward.
Thanks, Enzo. That is much appreciated, mate. And if you guys keep turning up, mate, we'll keep turning up as well. So, particularly when we see races like these that really do showcase what our category is all about. So, thanks again, Enzo. Great to see you, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
See you soon. See you soon.
There you go, Corey, the great Enzo Cantor. I've maybe had time to calm down. An apology goes a long way when someone knows they've made a mistake, particularly an uncharacteristic one, but great attitude from Enzo there tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And we all need a little bit of Enzo Genzo in our lives, especially in a post-race interview. And very tame, as you said, and an apology goes a long way. Sure, if that apology didn't come through, we probably would have seen a very different Enzo Cantor in the booth here. But, you know, it's great to see Enzo getting back out there and having a run once more. We didn't have him for a long time racing with us, and it's just great to see him out there having a crack. One of us in MNL, SNL history, and it's an absolute honor and a privilege to have him on track. And even though he's been iRacing for 11 years, still learning some things as he's making his way around these years, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Next up, let's have a chat to Mr. Adam Miles, who was in it right up until he wasn't, caught up in that big one right at the end. Adam, obviously the racing incident was the defining moment, but up until that point, intense, hot, pacey, skillful. It had everything, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it was a classic Bathurst SNL race, I think, up until that point. I think everyone was jostling to be as close to the front as possible. And I think just at the beginning of lap 10, end of lap 9, I think hot heads started to take over in some people, and there was a bit of some blocking and diving going on, and I think people escalating from that, and then more blocking, more pushing, and it just, you know, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up over the fence and in the scenery.
Yeah, well, that explains it. I thought I couldn't tell who it was because they disappeared. I thought no one's got a DQ with incident points here. So, yeah, look, it just didn't show up on our screen that you'd ejected stage into the void back to the pits, mate. But, yeah, that was a massive one there. And look, when you've got a field this strong and the racing's that intense and everyone's jockeying for that key position that they think's going to give them the best chance of winning. That's right. The intensity goes up, the hot-headedness and the decision-making sometimes is not what they do under less pressure-packed situations. So, look, lot to unpack in that one. But, look, as always, thank you for what you do in the community, mate, not the least of which is coming here each and every week and showing what it is to race these cars at the top level. So, congratulations to you on everything you do for the racing here on the Skippies. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yourselves, as always, Alex, Corey, fantastic job. As sad as it will make me to watch it back, I will watch it back because you got to watch the good and the bad. And yeah, I mean, well done to, I think Franco to get the win in the end, and an unusual top 5. You know, Ryan, Chris up there, so congrats to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like persevering. You've got to get the I rating up to get in there, and then you've got to be patient and on your toes to make something of what's presented to you. So congratulations to them, as you say. Thanks again, Adam. Always great to talk to you, mate. Look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Yep. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, Corey, the great Adam Miles, no longer a bridesmaid, of course. He's won a few of these on a Sunday night, but certainly not going his way tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. Unfortunate what happened to him. been the only one to actually flip out of the circuit. We know Hendrickson got close, but yeah, that explains why he disappeared. But you know, he put up an excellent race. For the 9 laps previous, he was right up there in the battle the entire time. And you know, it's just unfortunate the way that it ended up, but that is racing at the end of the day. He'll put that in the back of his mind. He'll come back next week and he'll be fighting towards the front once more.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Well, folks, that might just about do us for one of the more memorable races for many reasons. We've had it a while here on a Sunday night. But, Corey, do you want to tell the folks what we got coming up this week?
So this week, I'm going to be releasing a YouTube video from the last race I did on Tuesday, which included a fair few of the SNL guys and Mr. McKellar himself, where I had a decent finishing result due to a lot of people just falling out of the race. And apart from that, it's back here. Oh, actually on Friday, I have some outlaw carts to go and broadcast over on the Speedway Memes Facebook page. They'll be from the Pinjar Park Speedway up in Wanneroo, right near Barbagallo Raceway. And then back here with you next week, Alex, as we take on, I think it's the Phoenix Road Course. So the old school Phoenix Oval with the road course layout.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Otherwise, folks, join us in the Discord where all things SNL are covered. Keep an eye out there for news and what's going on. Of course, the Top Split YouTube is where you'll find, hopefully, a 2K replay of this race. Our first attempt to get some better quality in there up on the YouTube with multi-streaming and all that kind of stuff. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, folks, as Corey said, join us here, same bat time, same bat channel next week on Top Split TV, where we bring you nothing short of the greatest racing on iRacing, as we saw plenty of evidence of which here tonight. But for now, folks, on behalf of the Coyote Guy, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar. I thank you for your company and your support. And until next time, I will say ciao for now.